Oh, y'all, this is Huggie Pacino back with another video. California prosecutor charged father after 10-year-old son allegedly fatally shot a child. Sacramento mom is in pain right now because she lost a 10-year-old due to the acts of another 10-year-old raised by an irresponsible parent of a father. Northern California prosecutors have decided to only charge the father of a 10-year-old in connection with the death of a child the boy allegedly shot. The decision on charges in fatal shooting Saturday outside of Sacramento was announced during the father's court appearance Wednesday. In an email Thursday to the Associated Press, the Sacramento County District Attorney's Office said it told the court, based on the facts currently known, the sole criminal liability and responsibility for the child's death lays exclusively on the defendant, as it should be. The Associated Press generally does not identify juveniles involved in crimes. The father's name is being withheld to avoid identifying his son, which is weird because his name has already been put out there in the story, but I digress. Sacramento Bee reported that an attorney entered not guilty pleas on behalf of the 53-year-old defendant to charges of having a firearm that a child could easily access. That's one. Leading to the death of another minor. That's two. 2 counts of child endangerment. That's 3. Having a firearm as a felon. That's 4. Having ammunition when prohibited from doing so. That's 5. And 6 is destroying evidence, which is him getting rid of the gun. Sacramento County Sheriff deputies answering a shooting report in unincorporated Foothill Farms found victim Keith Frierson, also 10, in a parking lot where he later pronounced dead at the hospital, the sheriff's office said on a social media posting. The Sacramento Bee reported that the boy was accused of shooting Frierson after losing a bike race in a townhome complex where the boy lived. This is such a senseless reason to harm anyone, yet alone to shoot them. It goes to show that this boy has already been lost. He's already losing at the game of life, and he's been improperly raised, and he's not being taught the valuable lesson of conflict resolution. He does not understand that you can't just hurt people because of you losing a race. I remember riding as a kid. We ride bikes and we race each other around the block. We never wanted to hurt each other because we lost. This boy not only wanted to hurt someone, he wanted to kill someone and succeeded in doing so. And the fact that his father had a gun, and as we continue to read here, according to the sheriff's office statement, the defendant's son had gone out to his father's truck to get him cigarettes, found the loaded gun, in quotations, bragged to that his father had a gun. He bragged about his father having a gun. So he was very well aware, he subconsciously understood that his dad had a gun. And then shot the victim once. The father allegedly threw the gun into the trash can. That's what makes you accessory, because you got rid of the evidence. So his father tried to protect his son from getting charged. See, now he's only 10 years old today. Imagine as he gets older with that man, even if he didn't kill this boy, he basically will be raising a gangster. Let's just call it what it is. And I don't like what the activist said. Now, I'm going to be fair here, because the father should be, I wish they had a death penalty. The father should be put to death, as far as I'm concerned. It's a 10-year-old child that died at the hands of your decision-making and your irresponsibility of this kid. This kid, killing this kid, is no different than him finding the gun in the car or in the closet and shooting a family member by accident, because they hold parents accountable for the irresponsibility of handling guns or safety, having the guns put up safety or lock, or having safety locks, etc. They hold them responsible for what happens to that gun, or what happens with the person that used the gun. So why in this situation the boy I mean, why in this situation were they so quick to charge the boy instead of charge the father? The father or the parent in general is held responsible 100%. Especially when he knew his dad had a gun. He probably knew exactly where to go get it, obviously. But back to the activists. You talk about a generational curse, let's talk about it. Number one, single motherhood is a generational curse. He didn't mention that. He mentioned what the boy did was a generational curse. And he said that the boy should be held responsible. Let me tell you something. The boy needs therapy and he needs to be at a better home, raised by better parents. That's it. He's already going to learn. He's already going through the process where he has to deal with the consequences of what he's done. Now we have to make sure he's being raised properly, because you don't want him to be raised around a group of people in neighborhoods where they start praising the fact that you did something, because eventually he's going to grow into this character of being a killer. And I'm not hoping that he does that, but I understand that I grew up around killers that were 10 years old, 12 years old, and went to juvenile, and they came home and, you know, they got slapped on the wrist because they really didn't mean to, or they were children, so you couldn't really hold them accountable as adults, right? Don't ask me where most of them are now at 40. Some of them are dead. Some of them are out here, you know, committing more crimes. They grew up to be killers and they killed more people. Some of them grew up to be nice people and, you know, be productive fathers and husbands. So I'm not saying it doesn't happen. What I am saying that to the activists, the generational curse was sitting right in front of you. No strike against the woman, but I didn't see no man around. That's a generational curse. No father in the home for the 10-year-old. That's a generational curse. Now, this has nothing to do with the fact that the boy had no business being harmed over a bike race. Because over here, you have a father in the home who's not even responsible. But let's be real here. Did they even know that father? Were they familiar with the upbringing of that 10-year-old? Because that's another thing, to be old. You gotta really ask yourself, like, do people really examine or observe the parents of the kids that interact with other children in the neighborhood? Probably not. But a generational curse is all around. I don't disagree with him. He should call out everything if you're gonna call out one thing. That's my only problem. However, as we continue, the district attorney office said it could not make any further comments on the case. Additionally, juvenile matters are confidential as mandated by California law. It said the son had been arrested on suspicion of murder after the shooting, because previously the boy was charged, and then they said let's put the responsibility on the father, which I totally agree, and the father should do every bit of fucking time they throw at him. And best case scenario, I would say manslaughter, but as far as I'm concerned, I think it should be put to death, because this blood is on your hands, bro. This is on your hands. It's bad enough we can't have fathers in the home, and then here you go fucking up the statistic that we need, which is you. We need you, and you fucked that up. And as far as I'm concerned, he's a complete utter failure. And he failed a 10-year-old that died. He failed 2 children's lives. His own and another one. Now, to the person that brought me this story, my homegirl Miss Indy was the one that introduced this to me, and shout out to her. And we will go to her for more information about California's law and her opinion about the situation. Now to you, Miss Indy.
You know, this is such a sad and tragic situation all the way around the board. Hello, this is Miss Indy, and I'm here to give you a little bit of legal rep. Now, some of you may be wondering why the 10-year-old will not be facing murder charges in this case. Well, simply put, in California, it will be deemed as cruel and unusual punishment to prosecute a 10-year-old for murder. It will actually be violating the minor's 8th Amendment. Now, every so often, minors commit crimes that are inherently bad or evil. Now, these are crimes that I'm talking about that everybody can agree is bad or serious. Those type crimes are called mala ense crimes. Now, when it comes to minors in California, the court looks at several different factors, which include the seriousness of the crime. They look at how aggressive it was. Was it violent? Was it premeditated, willful manner? whether it was against property or a person, the sophistication of the crime, the maturity of the minor. Does the minor have a prior record? And does the minor threat or possess a threat to the public? Now, those are the guidelines that are used to decide whether a juvenile will be transferred to an adult court. On a side note, in California, juveniles cannot be sentenced to life or the death penalty. The courts would also need to determine the competency of a minor. Now, with this, they ask two questions. Can the defendant understand the legal proceedings? And the second question would be, can the defendant assist with his attorney? And with that, I think it is safe to say that a 10-year-old would not be deemed competent to stand trial in California for murder. The young man's father is currently in jail facing his own charges. I'll see if Huggie will let me come back so I can discuss his charges and give you guys my thought. Thank you. Bye.
Well, that was Miss Indy, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure y'all subscribe to her. Her link will be in the description box where you can subscribe to her channel. Well, tell me what y'all think in the comments section, or leave your thoughts and what do you think about this case. And we'll be back for more updates because, well, don't ask me what I think about this dude that you see on the screen. You want to know what I think?
Get out there! That nigga is guilty!
Thank you for watching. Make sure you hit the like button and make sure you subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell to receive all notifications from Huggie Pacino. In the description box, you can find all 10 channels. HP Media 1 and 2 are the 2 new channels. You can also subscribe to my dog Julio and Huggie Pacino 1 through 6. And there's also a Huggie Pacino Effect throwback channel. And you can also contact me via email and phone. And if you would love to donate to the channel, here's where you could donate: Cash App and PayPal. The link's on the screen.
Donations, gifts.
Now that's Huggie Pacino certified.